Okay, so iOS 16.4 Developer Beta 2 was released earlier this week, and you guys already know I like to come back a few days later and share with you guys my experience so far with the software, any additional new features, how's the battery, performance. But this time around, I also am super excited because Apple has made some minor changes to the software that I hope continue a trend, and hopefully we'll see more of this in the future. So let's just dive right into this video. Now, as always, if you would like to stay up to date with the latest iOS news and Apple software updates, of course, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you turn on those notifications so that you don't miss another episode. Now, the first thing I would like to talk about is performance and battery. Now, in terms of performance, I haven't encountered any issues with iOS 16.4. That is surprising because, of course, beta software tends to have bugs. Of course, not everyone's experience will be the same. So if you're encountering issues, I would like to hear from you in those comments down below. Have you experienced any freezing, any app crashing? I know I heard some forums mention that the scrolling was a bit glitchy for some, and I do have to mention that GPS sort of has a minor delay. But other than that, this is beta software. I have to say it's been pretty solid so far. And you guys already know in terms of battery, I typically don't like to judge the battery on beta software, but you guys have been asking, and I have to report that I've been extremely impressed with the battery performance of iOS 16.4. It's been one of the best battery performance so far software to this date since iOS 16 was released. And that's a lot to say because now I get through my entire day with no issues, and this is beta software, so hopefully this trend in terms of performance and battery will continue throughout until we see the official release. Now, as I mentioned, 16.4 was released earlier this week. 2 days later, Apple released what's called a rapid security response. Now, this is basically a security patch for iOS 16.4. Apple has released several of these as a test. I'm pretty sure this one is a test as well. If you haven't downloaded that one yet, just go into settings, head on over into general, and then go into software updates. And if you haven't updated, it should populate here. Typically, they happen automatically. So basically, we've been doing this on computers for years, right? Where you can update the security, patch security, without having to release an entire new software update in order to patch something. This will be common in the future for iPhones, and this is just a test of things to come. Now, something also that's new within iOS 16.4, if we head on over into settings, general, and about, Apple has the coverage section here, and now you have an entire overview of all your devices within coverage. You have the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is this iPhone here. We have hardware services, we have chat and phone support right here. We have the app. We can also download and see the limited warranty support here. Same thing applies for all the other devices you own with coverage. We have the Apple Watch Ultra there, AirPods 3rd generation. As you can see, we also have the AirPods Pro and the AirPods Max. So an overview of your coverage is now under the About section, which I'm happy to report. Now, why am I extra excited about iOS 16.4 Beta 2? Well, remember when iOS 6 and iOS 7, we had that big change where we went from the skeuomorphism over to a flatter look OS? Well, with iOS 16.4 Developer Beta 2, Apple has made some changes to the Books application that sort of hint at some of this stuff coming back, and I'm so excited. I remember Steve Jobs announcing this on stage for the iPad presentation. Remember that?
And the book downloads right onto my bookshelf like that. And that's all there is. It's just so simple. And now if I want to read that book, I just tap on it. And here it is. And this is what it's like to read a book. I have some controls. I can just tap in the center and the controls go away, get them back, send them away. And to flip the page, I just flip forward. I tap anywhere on the right, and I flip forward. Flip back, just tap on the left. That's it. I can even flip myself if I want by dragging it, if I'd like, you know. Very simple.
And I'm a super fan of this. Now, if we go into the Books application here and we tap here and let's say we want to read a book here, with iOS 16.4, we have the option now to change how you swipe through pages. And this is something minor, but again, right there it is, the curl. We can select the curl option, and now we can flip through pages just like we could back in the day. And I really love this style of OS where things sort of interact like things in real life. I think this gives the OS life. I think it brings it to life, and it's just better and funner to use an iPhone this way. I don't know if that's really a word, but it is a lot fun to do this here on the iPhone. And hopefully this is a sign of things to come, because I'm a big fan of this, where you can have your books on a shelf, just like Steve Jobs used to announce this stuff. Swipe through pages, the notes, take notes, just like if it was a real notepad. I'm super excited and hopeful that Apple will continue on this with iOS 16.4 and beyond. Of course, stay tuned here to the channel. Let me know what you think about the software so far. Are you excited for this one? Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.